This week I've been working on a story about a 13-year-old boy who used Snapchat to tell one of his friends that he was coming to shoot him, and then showed up an hour later or so and shot the young man in the knee. When you're dealing with cases like this, and everyone is a minor, in this case 13-year-olds, you can't use their names, even though there's an arrest record, there's court appearance records. You can't use any of that information, not even the suspect's name. What you basically need is permission from the parents to use the child's name. That's not something easy to get. You have to go to a parent who just came from the hospital and is watching their baby, be stitched back together after being shot or being stabbed. The one good thing I think I can do in this story is give that access between the person who's been the most affected, aside from the boy who was shot, his mother, give her direct access to the people who control the response to these kinds of crimes. The clock was ticking, and I needed to get over to the victim's parents' house to see if I could get a chance to talk to the victim's mother. It really is a tense situation. I'm not being sent there to see perhaps maybe maybe there's a chance she'll talk. There's an expectation of getting the interview. There's an expectation that you're going to come away with information that was not public before you left. In a situation like this, it's hard to push people who are going through that kind of trauma. I mean, think about that. A 13-year-old son shot in the leg, and I'm there asking all these serious and pointed questions about a topic that I'm sure she would much rather just go away. Did your son tell you anything about this argument that they were having?
No.
Does your son have any idea why this individual?
No, not at all.
So you have to dance on this line between getting her to talk to you, getting the story, and also being considerate of someone who's going through probably the toughest moment of their life, right? I mean, how the heck do you do it? In this particular case, the woman she didn't want her name in the story. She didn't want her child's name in the story. I let her know that I would speak to her on the condition of anonymity, and did that just to get her talking, just so that she would, relax enough to talk on video. Halfway through the interview, by the time she'd invited us into her living room, and I was asking her, is this how you spell your first name? Not for publication, just for my own notes. She spelt it again, and she said, you know what, you can use my name, it's fine. There's just something cathartic about telling your story, about telling what's going on. It really does loosen people up and allow them to let go a lot of their fear. And once they start doing that, that's when you ask questions like, is it okay if we use your name, we use your son's name? And a lot of the time they do open up. I got to ask her, if you had the chance to talk to the police here, what would you like to say? Is there anything the police could have done that could have helped here? She spoke her mind.
There should be more cops out there for these kids, especially kids coming out of school, kids playing in the playground. Now you can't even do that nowadays.
And what she felt like saying was, what are you doing? How are you going about this? These are legitimate questions that she should be able to ask, but she's asking now in a format where Dermot Shea has to listen to that. It's in the New York Post, you know what I mean? He's being confronted with it. I know he reads the Post. It's not a message left for him on some voicemail. It's out there, everybody's hearing it. So it carries a little bit more impact, I guess, more direct impact. That's a good thing.